Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we are once again in Star Trek Resurgence, the 5th episode and the last one of this week, where we are starting with the chapter Scientific Method. The last episode we acted like a diplomat, but the negotiations gone very bad and we are in the brink of war. But now we are trying to figure out why the hyperdrives don't work. The warp drive, sorry. Let's hear it. Okay, let's increase warp output.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Warp failed.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
We already answered this, so might be the storm.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here.
We'll follow
Could it still
my
be causing this
previous
interference with warp
steps.
travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Okay. Let's see if this game is faithful to the Star Trek saga, where they solve a difficult problem in 2 hours, when in real life we spend decades to do it, and when we can do it. Like, faster than light travel is still not possible, and I don't know if it is possible.
Roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Okay. Shuttle piloting. Fly the shuttle to your objective to complete the mission. RT to fly forward, LT to fly backward, R to turn, and L to strafe. Okay. The storm will push your shuttle around. Stay focused to maintain your course. Okay. Hazards. The ionic storm will fill your path with dangerous hazards. Green light will damage your shuttle. Taking damage 3 times will fail the mission. You can fly through the rings created by the storm if you pilot carefully. Okay. Follow the lit path to reach the next waypoint. The navigation computer displays information about the area around you. Indicates a storm hazard and indicates an asteroid. Okay. Okay, let's try to... Oh, it's very sensible. I see the strafe thing.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We're standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
4 kilometers.
We'll be in position shortly.
I'm accelerating as much as I can.
Piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Okay, we can go here and avoid the
Chovak
asteroid.
probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Chovak not so bad. I don't take it personally. Let's avoid the asteroid.
I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part.
Thank you.
Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
This guy do not like Jara one bit. Okay, it's not that hard. Not that hard. Okay, we are there. Nice. So, 2 probes, I think. So the first one is done. Nice. So let's go to the second one. I saw 4.
First probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem? I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
You should give her a chance.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Nope. Oh.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
Okay. You're the boss.
With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
So the shuttle will move around as hell. That's what you are saying,
Listen,
right?
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. Don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
Thanks for the advice.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work. Who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
Can you get me a promotion? We'll use this private talk to try to boost yourself, ourselves.
I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration. If I were first officer, it would be different.
Maybe I'll try the science division.
Well, what do you think? Is there room for me in the science division?
Unless I can come up with a real good reason.
This isn't enough?
It might be.
Okay, we are here. Not so bad.
Here, this is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe.
And 2 deployed.
Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Okay, locate the interference peaks. Oh, here we got one, I think. What the hell?
We got something.
Okay.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Doesn't seem that I'm able to find some more. What the hell? What? Come on. Where the hell are those things? Huh? Okay. One here, so we'll have to stand on them just a little bit. Okay. Nothing here. Nothing here. Okay, nice.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they do that?
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. Current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
Yes, indeed.
Presently, we don't have an explanation
Suspicions.
for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
Yeah.
Here I thought the Elidians would be the problem. Having to peace talks and warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
What are the Atari up to?
I don't know why the Hotari wanted us here, but it wasn't to negotiate.
Clearly, peace is not their intention.
Then what is? Why go through this charade?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
To stop Galvan and Sidron.
She doesn't like the way Galvin and Sidron have been manipulating the situation. And the Queen. Working with us to go around them isn't the same as betraying her people.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
To learn more about us.
Sidron was very curious when we spoke outside the Queen's chamber. He wanted to know all about us, our ship, the Federation. He wasn't giving any answers. He was looking for them.
Well, I'm sure you didn't tell him too much. I don't think the Elidians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm.
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
Illidians, and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Oh.
Put her through.
Here she is. Hello, Tylus.
Galvin and Citron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but
Nope.
I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It's hard to tell.
We have to help her.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're
or
not
maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the residence. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illidians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in the peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification.
Exactly.
But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
This artifact is proof.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. The mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
Spock the Great.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari.
Containment protocol.
Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
Be saving all these chips and find out.
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Come on, Carter.
Gotta be the storm damage. We need to...
Here comes
Welcome
my
back.
girlfriend.
Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Are you okay, babe? Be professional.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
Come on. The Three Stooges done it.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
I don't know everything.
Well, I wouldn't say everything, but I know my stuff.
I can see that.
Come on, start pulling chips.
Okay. One by one? Come on, game. Oh. Oh.
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Good question. With your hands?
Wait.
Okay.
Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination.
Thanks, Miranda.
Retrieve a containment module.
Yes.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
It does pose a threat.
Well, if it's not natural, then someone might have put it there. It could be a tracking device, or some kind of sabotage, or even a bomb.
Which is why we need to get it to the containment lab.
Come on.
I can't make an exception. Not even for you.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
If you think you can.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. If you think you could do it without getting in trouble.
I'll find a way.
Be very careful.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast? But she usually doesn't scare easy.
It's her job.
Of course she's taking it seriously, but that's her job. She's on duty, she's got to be on the lookout for danger.
Yeah, but talking about sending a distress call on her own, that's going too far. Although, you didn't seem to think so. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
We'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to call someone to help us, I think. Symbols and legends.
Behind the scenes during the negotiations, I made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydick, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon, originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
This one.
Match.
Got it.
Got it indeed.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Tkon Empire.
Tkon.
Civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Tkon were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Tkon technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Tkon is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
We don't even know what it is.
We don't have the first idea what this is or what it means. And we have all of the Federation records available to us.
Perhaps we should see what else the Federation records show.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Tkon artifacts?
On Stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Tkon outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating the release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Tkon Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
I want to know about the portal 6-3.
Someone from the Tkon Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Tkon Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Tkon Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Tkon outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
Enterprise D.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy draining field the Tkon used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Tkon technology on board right now?
They might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
And can we contain it?
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
Yeah.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Tkon technology and can control it, see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
We need to go to those mines.
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding. Better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau.
Good idea. Good idea.
Assuming you're up to the task.
Of course I am.
It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'll assembly an away team.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. Given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality, aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Illydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime. Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Okay. Important mission up ahead. Very important mission up ahead. And here we are, sent into Tau. Tau, lost and found. So, this is where we end this episode for this week, guys. Next week we'll have a new one, the 6th one, and we'll start in this lost and found episode. But before we tune off, let's see the relationships that Jara has with Captain Solano. Could help to be impressed by Jara's intelligence approach to the mission to Tau despite the evident risks. Nice. Bedrosian was inspired by Jara's boldness when discussing how to address the Hotari threat during the senior staff meeting. Spock admires Jara's deft diplomacy under pressure when she was being questioned by... Okay, that's the same one. Willing to follow... Oh, that's the same. That's the same. The same. Chovek. That's the same. And that's the same. Let's see Carter then. Edislar was reminded how much she values her friendship with Carter when she said she doesn't own anything for letting her go to the first of the hull. Miranda noticed Carter's usual confidence was tempered by some much needed humility when she returned from Hotari. Chovak approved of Carter's eagerness to work. Okay, that's okay. We've already seen that one. So I'll end the episode here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. But that's all from me today, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm titular, and thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you Monday. Bye bye and take care.
If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Also read the description below, where you will find ton of useful information and links regarding the contents of this video.